In the shadows of society, a criminal empire was built on loyalty, respect, and fear. It wasn't just about making money. It was about maintaining power and survival. Hey guys, it's me, Sammy, over here. I got a lot of questions about the Mafia, how it was built and the structure of it and stuff. I'm going to give you a brief breakdown on the whole structure from the boss to the associate, and I'm going to give each position and tell you a little bit about it. I'll start off as an associate. An associate is not a made member. He didn't take the oath. He didn't burn the saint in his hand. He's an earner. He does what he has to do. He's got to do the dirty work, and he's with a made guy. And sometimes he's actually with a captain. But I'll go to the made guy first. So when he goes to his boss, who's a made guy, he took the oath. He's a member of Cosa Nostra. He's got more power, and he has to abide by the code and all of the instructions he's given. He's got to live by the life. If he's told to kill, he has to kill. Whatever he has to do, he does. Sometimes he can make associates kill with him, for him, when he gets the orders and he gets the okays. So he's directly with a captain, cabrigine, captain, whatever you want to call him. Anytime it was brought to me, or given to me, or given an order to do a hit, I did it. Sometimes I went there and I was asking permission to kill somebody. It's the other way around. I'm asking permission. Well, it always goes up to the boss anyway. Even if my crew came to me and there's a problem, I don't just give them an order to go do a hit. I don't have the right to do that. It always goes up the ladder. And when you get an okay, you can tell your guys, okay, we're gonna do this. So there's always the structure. Structure's always in it. That's how the government made the RICO law and killed the whole fucking Mafia, because of that structure. And a captain has a number of made guys in a crew around him. And some of those associates, of course, if they're with the made guy, they're also with that captain. A soldier's got usually a soldier or a captain puts his name in to become a made guy. Everybody gets that name in the family, and sometimes people out of the family get that name. If you know anything negative about him or positive about him, we want to hear it before we make him take the oath. And it's much tighter than a business team, because you're doing murders, you're doing all kinds of things. Government's on your back, so people are looking to kill you maybe sometimes, so protection factors. There's all of that. It keeps you very tight, very strong, very loyal. And if you're not loyal and people see it, they get rid of you. They either chase you or they'll kill you. But we were very, very tight. Most of those people went to my family functions with me. I went to some of their family functions. So we were like a mini family within the family. That's the duties of a made guy, and that's what happens to an associate. So it goes up to the captain, and like I said, he's got a crew of made guys and associates with him. Money comes in through the associate up to the made guy, from the made guy up to the captain, and then the captain gives to the administration, the boss, the underboss, and the concierge of the family. So I left off as the captain. Now you go up a notch, and there's the administration. They're the power of the family. The concierge is a guy who really knows Cosa Nostra like the back of his hand. He generally is like a lawyer for captains and made guys to bring it to the boss and the underboss. And above the concierge, there's the underboss of the family, and he's a real powerhouse. He's in charge of the real hits, stuff like that. He takes the orders from the boss. The boss is up a little further, and he's removed from a lot of these meetings. So the underboss is somebody who meets with other families when there's a dispute. A boss, an underboss, or a concierge of another family. and he sits down with captains, make sure everything is being run right. So the underboss is a very, very powerful position, and he's number 2. I was always involved in some sort of conversations. It's not that I was part of it, but I was involved in conversations, or I knew what was going on, or I was asked my opinion. As I rose in rank, then my opinion or my job became more important. As an underboss, you're overseeing the hits. Sometimes you're actually almost going on them. You're not supposed to, but in some cases you're with the crew. Underboss, I handled it like anybody would. Any corporate boss would handle his company with hundreds of employees. It's no different than that, I don't think. Of course, it's involving crime and murders and everything like that, so it's different in that respect. But handling it as a job, that was my job. When I woke up in the morning, I either went to the gym, took a shower, got dressed, went out, and I did it all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever I was needed. When I went home, I lived a different life and a different lifestyle. I was more of a family man. I eventually got a little farm where I had my family would go to the farm. I would be around my wife and my kids and stuff like that. Even corporate people, they do the same thing. They have vacation homes and things like that. So it's, in a way, it's very similar. I mean, I don't get as many days off as a corporate guy would get, but it is what it is. Okay, so I gave you a little bit of a breakdown, and now I'm going to explain, and I'm going to show this. I wrote this book in 1996. It's The Underboss. You could get this book, buy it. If you want to buy it from me, I sign a signed book. We sell it as well. But you could read my life story. Now, it goes beyond that because I've lived way beyond 96. This is 2025. But you'll get a good understanding of the life, the life I led, my personal life, and the Mafia life. So all of our stuff right now is on sale, 30% off. So this is a great deal. Now, I sign it, and then you can send in to the girl, Amina, whoever you're sending it into, and sometime ask, what your name is and what you want said in the book, as long as it's not too long, and we'll mail it to you. Number 1 is the boss himself. Now, the boss, to become the boss, he was generally, more than likely, a captain, and the whole family, all the captains, have to vote him in. If he gets a majority of the votes in a meeting with all the captains, he becomes the boss of the family. And when he's the boss of the family, his word goes. He's the father of the family. He's the boss. Whether you like his orders or not, or whatever he's doing, you follow him. He gives an order, and it's coming from the top to do a hit. You do it, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, you can die. And generally, more than likely, you will. And I met bosses all my life. I was in the street. But I was in the Colombo family. I met Joe Colombo for a while. Even I wasn't mate, I was just an associate. I was driving with somebody, and I was his driver. I was an associate. Shorty Spiro was a maid guy. And when I came from Carmine Persico, who was a captain, to give Joe Colombo a message, I drove Shorty there. So I met him. And then I was transferred from the Colombo family to the Gambino family. And right after I was transferred, I met Carlo Gambino because there was a dispute. He talked for me. He welcomed me into the family, spoke with me a little bit. We had a cup of coffee together. He had some bodyguards there, 4 or 5 guys. He was great. It was like talking to my grandfather. He was very, very smart. He was business-minded. It was all about respect and loyalty. The whole Mafia is built on the code. And so he's the father of the family, and you respect him that way. And I had so many meetings, especially when I rose in rank, with bosses of all the families, underbosses, consigliers. I did a couple of hits. One of them was the Johnny Keys hit. It was a hit that was ordered by the commission and then by Paul Castellano, who was the boss, gave me the hit. I was only a made guy under Tato Arello, who was my captain. I did that. It was a notorious hit. I became extremely well known throughout the whole family, the whole 5 families, because of that hit. And then later on, I orchestrated the Castellano hit. So my reputation went through the roof in that life. I was also a good business guy. I had 4 or 5 businesses going. I handled unions, all kinds of things. And I was a good, big earner for the family. So when you have all of those qualities, you become well known, you become very powerful. That's the structure of the family. It's the boss, the underboss, the consigliere, administration. Capitans, captains, we had 21 of them at one point. And then there's made guys who are with those guys. I think we had in the Gambino family 350 made guys. That's including the administration and the captains. And only God knows how many associates. And even associates could have associates, friends that they're distant from the Mafia. They're not in that circle, but they're in the outer circle. So there could be thousands of people involved in a family. So guys, let me close like this. It's Easter, so happy Easter, happy Palm Sunday. My prayers are with you. And I'm going to California soon, and I'm going to be at the Ocean Church, where I'm doing something with the pastor, where I became a born-again Christian. Stay safe, stay strong, always. Love you guys.